Okay, I think we can start. So, hi everybody again. My name is Julian Brunner, and I'm a BI consultant at Scalefree. And yeah, I'm replacing Michael because he's quite busy today. Yeah, we run the session every Friday, 11 a.m. Central European Time. And in this session, we're gonna answer questions about data vault, big data, so basically any data-driven topics. And you can submit those questions in advance via a form or directly ask questions here in the chat. Yeah, today's topic will be about ghost records. So yeah, ghost records in general, and what is the best approach to load ghost records. So let's quickly we our PID tables to ensure inner join with equi-join conditions. And a PID table has references to the primary keys of all corresponding satellites. So for every snapshot, we calculate the set entry that was active point in time, at snapshot time. So in this example here, we have a PID table with two satellites. On the first satellite, with a reference to the 29th of November, and for the second satellite, we see we have a reference to a ghost record. So, which means that at the 1st of January there was no active record for this business key. On the second day, we see, so the 2nd of January, we see these for the first satellite, the reference is still the same. So it's still referencing the same records in the satellite. And for the second satellite, there was a change in the reference, which means that on this day we get a new entry, or the very first entry for this business key in the satellite, and now we have a valid or an active record. So as I said, if there's no active record in a satellite for a specific snapshot, we reference the ghost record. So that ensures that we will reference either to the active record or to the ghost record. And we also need the counterpart of a satellite's ghost record in a hub or in a link. In this case, we don't call it ghost record, we call it zero key instead. Because we have two types of zero keys. The first one is the unknown key, which is the counterpart to the ghost records in a satellite. And the second key is the error key for anonymous cases. For example, if there's missing or broken relationship in the source, in that case, the error key is set for the missing business key in a link entry. So that's it for the basics to ghost records. Let's talk about the options that we have for inserting ghost records. The first variation is to insert the ghost record right after creating the physical object. So you execute a script right after the DDL execution, and this option is also covered in the book. But we have also a second option. In this, with this option, you will insert the ghost record during the loading process of data vault objects. So we add the ghost record to the batch data, for example, and it will be inserted if it's missing in the satellite. So with every load cycle, you will check if the ghost record is missing and insert it accordingly. Both variations are valid, but we would recommend the second option because this way of inserting ghost records ensures that these records are always available. Imagine the situation if somebody truncates a table. Issue, because it is only a one-time operation. And if you're missing the ghost records, you will have, in this example here, you will have null values instead of the ghost record. And an inner join to this pit leads to the issue that you will miss the whole record in the dimension of the whole record for this business key won't appear. So as I said, the second option is always checking if the ghost records is missing, and let's say it's the most safer option. But as I said, both variations are valid and can be automated with an automation tool. What else I want to show you is how a ghost record look like, because it's quite important also for reporting at the end. So for hash key, we set 32 times 0. For the load date timestamp, we're going to set the beginning of all time. For the record source, we will set a system here that will indicate that this record does not coming from the source. It is system generated instead. And for the hash diff, we gonna set 32 times 0 as well. And for the descriptive data, there is, for example, for the character attributes, we put something like unknown, or you could put a question mark. But many people put null values at the default values for a ghost record, but we would recommend not to use null values. Imagine, for example, there's a middle name of a person in the source. A null value could indicate that this person simply does not have a middle name. Distinguish if the person simply does not have a middle name or it is unknown. If you are missing this information or the person does not have a middle name. So that's why we would recommend to put something meaningful for the default values. So in this case, for the character, something like unknown, that will clearly indicate that this information, we don't know about it. So that's it about ghost records. Let me check if there's any questions in the chat. It's not the case. We are at the end of today's session. If you have any further questions, you can use this form to submit your questions, sfr.ee/DataVault-Friday. Thanks for coming. I wish you a nice weekend and see you hopefully next Friday. Bye-bye.
Thanks for joining today. If you'd like to discuss this further, give us a call on the number below here, and we're happy to discuss this with you. See you next time. Have a nice weekend. Bye-bye.